My name is David Rippy, and I am a certified hypnotherapist. This client and friend of mine, Leora Leon, had me on her show about 2 months ago in a very exciting interview. I approached her about doing a past life regression as I found her current life to be so interesting. I knew there would be more on this surface, and Leora did not disappoint. A past life regression is where I take someone to a deep hypnotic state where they can recall details of a previous life. She recounted how her father in a past life was the Grand Chancellor of a planet named Sessirius in a different galaxy. She went into detail how he was getting old and they were helping to evacuate the planet as it was being overrun by another species. She talks about being at a station of Sessirius where pods were coming in picking everyone up to evacuate. She also shared how the Earth had gone through many evolutions of its original existence. Stay tuned, subscribe to David Rippy, and there will be new videos to follow. Enjoy. So as you drift down deeper and deeper, you're feeling yourself sinking down, deeper and deeper into the bubble. And as you're drifting down, you can feel yourself letting go. Feeling all the noise and distractions in the background is fading away to where you just feel you're in this bubble drifting down, allowing the light to come in. And as you can feel in your body, you can see the cells starting to light up with this golden light. And you can feel it coming down through your scalp and into your skin, all through, and looking in your mind and feeling all the stress draining away. And you feel it pumping this golden energy throughout your entire body. And you're starting to feel a little bit more revitalized, very relaxed. Just hearing my voice, not drifting asleep, but allowing yourself to drift down deeper and deeper. And as we count down one more time from 5 to 1, I want you just to continue to relax, allowing the thoughts to fade away. Allowing yourself to take this time to yourself to revitalize and re-energize as you feel all the muscles relax. You can feel yourself sinking down deeper and deeper. Allowing yourself just to let go as you count from 5 down to 4. Feeling yourself drifting down alongside this beautiful tree. Just very light, swaying gently side to side. And being guided downward in a very nice, relaxed motion. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, it's almost like you're a leaf or a very small, tiny little pod drifting down deeper and deeper. Allowing yourself to relax. Allowing yourself to drift down deeper and deeper. As we count down to 3, you can feel yourself drifting down. Feeling the golden lights coming in a little bit more intense now. And you're allowing it to flow through your body. Allowing it to light up the cells. All the stress is draining away. You're going to feel more and more relaxed as you drift down deeper and deeper. And as we count down to 3, you can feel yourself sinking down. Allowing yourself just to relax and take this time to yourself. Feeling your breath just nice and steady as you drift down deeper and deeper. And as you continue to sink down, you can feel the golden light, almost like it's skin on your body. It's like a golden, beautiful light. You feel a little bit more energized. You can feel in your toes and your fingers. You can feel the energy. Might feel like a little tingling as you drift down deeper and deeper. And as we count down to 3, you can feel yourself just slowly drifting down. Feeling very safe, like you're being guided by like angelic hands, just gently bringing you down. Or spirit guides, wanting to help you on this journey. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, you feel yourself just relaxing, allowing yourself to hear my voice, not falling asleep, but just enjoying the journey down and feeling so safe and secure. Free of all thoughts as you drift down deeper and deeper, just allowing the golden light to feel all the stress draining away, feeling all the stress in the shoulders and the neck, feeling it all just relax, knowing that you're immortal and you'll get through this and all the other things going on in your life. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, we count down to 1. And you can feel yourself gently swaying down, very relaxed, feeling very, very relaxed. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, you can feel the pod begin to get closer down to the bottom of the base, maybe 30, 40 feet off the ground. You're coming down so slowly, so relaxed, enjoying the perfect environment, feeling the golden light just lighting up inside your cells, and feeling all the cells become very alive and very stress-free, allowing it all to become calm and peaceful. To allow yourself to enjoy the moment, just drifting down gently, drifting down deeper and deeper. And as we get down closer to the base, we're going to feel the pod being gently guided away from the tree, very slowly and measured, because we just want to go on with our journey. And we're going to drift out. As you're drifting out, and I count from 3 to 1, you can feel this pod beginning to approach a large, beautiful field of flowers. And as you can feel it becoming more light out, almost like daybreak, you can feel the sun still coming down gently. And the bubble's kind of translucent, like you can kind of know it's out there. But you don't really care, you're just relaxed and just drifting along as we count down to 2. And you begin to feel this pod going over this beautiful field of flowers. And they're all lit up and very colorful. And you're drifting down, down, deeper and deeper, allowing yourself to let go. And you can begin to feel in your mind's eye. You're going to be able to feel and see some of these flowers below you. And you're just drifting along very gently. So we count down to 1. You can feel the golden light really starting to help in the muscles and the shoulders and the tension. All the stress is gone. Feeling it just drift away as you enjoy this beautiful ride above this beautiful field of flowers. And you allow yourself just to take the time, and just enjoying yourself. It's really peaceful. And as we drift down deeper and deeper, in your mind's eye, you can kind of notice flowers you're familiar with. They kind of come into your mind, and you can see and start to identify them. Because you can see all around. It's translucent, but you're drifting out. The field's very large and beautiful. Nothing else out there, just this field of flowers, and you're gently drifting along above it. And as you gently drift along above the field, I want you to just kind of get an idea. Do you see any flowers below you at all?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, I want you just to relax and enjoy the ride. And as you're drifting along, sinking deeper and deeper, you can feel the flowers below you. You can see them in your mind's eye. And maybe describe some of the flowers you might be seeing.
Like a Gerber daisy, lilacs.
Okay. Very pretty. Sounds very nice. Well, I want you to continue to drift along above them. And how high above them do you think you're drifting? What do you estimate?
About 2 feet.
Okay, so you're drifting nicely above the flowers. You're so relaxed. You're drifting down deeper and deeper. And as you continue to drift down, you can feel the golden light coming in. The temperatures are perfect. You feel so comfortable and relaxed. And I want you to just continue to drift along above the field. Just taking your time, just kind of enjoying the ride, feeling yourself sinking down deeper and deeper. Feeling yourself sinking down, down, down. And as you're drifting down deeper and deeper, You're beginning to see more clarity even. The flowers are more intense, the colors more vibrant. And you're really enjoying this because you haven't been able to see these flowers in a while. So it feels nice, like you're at some really, really nice arboretum or something very nice with flowers. And as you're drifting along above the field, you just know that eventually we're going to come closer to the end. So I want you just to relax and drift along above this beautiful field. And as you're drifting along, feeling so relaxed, you can feel yourself drifting down, down, down. And the flowers are all beautiful below you. And you're enjoying the ride as you just drift along in this beautiful golden pod. Continue to drift along, enjoying the ride, feeling a little more energized, feeling no stress, no anxiety, knowing you're powerful, feeling this power coming in. And as the golden light is lighting up your cells inside you, can you see yourself in your mind's eye lit up? Can you visualize that a little bit? Or is that hard to do right now?
Well, I'm kind of, what I'm seeing is I'm below the earth and I'm in a kind of like a cage, and there's a like reptilian figure that is I'm captive, and it's all red. It's like and it's like underground.
Okay, well, let's describe that a little more. That's very interesting. Now, did you say you were in the cage or this creature was?
I'm in the cage.
All right, you're in the cage. And can you describe the cage to me? How big is it, roughly?
And I'm little. I'm like probably like 10 or something, but it's a black barred cage and it's probably about 4 feet by 4 feet.
Okay, so you're in this cage. And how long have you been there, do you think?
Quite a while. I was stolen.
Okay, well, let's drift down deeper and deeper. And as you're drifting down, I want you to describe this reptilian creature. What does he look like? What color is his skin?
It's like dark. It's like hunchbacked, like dark.
All right, well, I want you to know we're just going to observe this. We're not going to get emotionally involved. And I want you to tell me as you're looking at that, what color, I mean, you said you're about 10. What are you wearing and what color is your hair?
Dark hair, and dirty, and like clothes that are just ragged.
Okay. So it's been a while since you've had a bath or clothes. Is that correct? Or fresh clothes. Okay. Now let's go to that and kind of look at that, and we're just not getting emotional, just kind of observe. Now I want you to go when you are allowed out of the cage. Do they come and let you out?
No.
Okay, so you feel like, and how long did you stay in that cage, do you think?
I think until he died.
Until when?
He died.
Okay, well, let's don't get emotionally involved. Do you see yourself in the cage at 20?
No, I was let out like around 17 or 18. But the captor, he died, and they let me go.
Okay. So your captor died, and who let you go?
Like a younger reptilian, they just let me out.
Okay, so you were glad to be out after that long time, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's not get emotionally involved. I want you just to see the scenes in your mind. So you see younger reptilians letting you out. And where did you go from there at 17?
They let me out. This thing was inside of a mountain. And so I go out and I'm free, but I don't know where to go. It's so I'm like in
Okay, you're not getting emotionally involved. So let's go to 21. Maybe we'll go from 17 to 21, roughly. Do you see yourself at 21?
yeah.
All right, describe yourself now. What do you look like? Are you cleaned up or what?
I'm in a different maybe planet or something, but I have a very futuristic outfit on. I'm clean. I'm very sharp, like almost like I'm like a armed forces, but I'm wearing all silver and very clean. And I think I was captured and brought back to where I was from, and so I'm just very clean, very slick, very modern outfit, and I'm not the leader of everything. I'm just kind of like a sub leader, but I'm yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Now, do you remember your name, or if you had to put this in Earth years? And by the way, was this on Earth or not?
In 2145,
So you think it was in the future, and was it on Earth?
it's a different planet completely.
Okay. Now, let's see if we can get a yes or no on this. Would it be in our galaxy, the Milky Way,
Uh,
or in a
it's
different galaxy?
uh, um, it's in a different galaxy. They're all connected through Orion's belt. They all have Orion's belt, but this is in a different one. And Syrian, I want to say Sessirius. Syrian.
Okay. Very interesting. So you see that you had this silver suit on. You're at 21 or so. Do you see yourself at 30?
Yeah, the same thing. I'm married with children. I have a child. Happily married, but everything is about my career and what I'm doing, and I'm like protecting the planet.
Okay. Could you describe in what year, if this was Earth years, do you think it would be?
It says 21 to 58.
So now we're at about 2158. Okay. And you're in a whole nother galaxy, is that correct? And it's connected to the Orion's belt?
Yeah, they all are. They're all connected. Every galaxy has a passageway, and in the Earth's galaxy, it's called Orion, but they're all Orions. That's just a passageway that we can go through galaxy to galaxy. So it's
Very neat. Now, could you could you describe the structures you might have lived in? Do you see your home?
yeah, very modern, like apartment, very sleek. Everything's very clean. There's several sectors to the planet. There are two that are not inhabitable, and another one that is all jungle. And maybe that's where I was, in the jungle part, hidden in the mountain. They didn't know about it until they found me again.
So you were hidden pretty well in the jungle near the mountain, I guess, huh?
Right.
Well, let's look at that scene. Remember, we're just observing that life, and in that life, you said, are you male or female? Are you female or male?
Female.
Okay. Now, do you see yourself at 35, or were you captured by then?
No, I was captured when I was little.
Right, but then you got away, is that correct? Or they let you out?
Yeah, another group let me out, and then now I'm in part of it. The planet is being attacked, and there's the my father is the Grand Chancellor, and he's old now, and I'm older, and we're helping evacuate the the planet right now. It was being overrun, and I'm at a station where pods are coming in, and we're putting everybody in the pods and evacuating everything. So I'm with my father helping him, and
Okay, that's very interesting. Well, I want you to look at that scene and just keep seeing how you're helping your father, not getting emotional. And I want you to tell me how tall were you in that life now that you were full grown?
I seem like I was, and I want to say 6 feet something, so I was pretty tall.
All right, what about your father?
Well, he's old now, so
But I mean, say in his youth, what was his total height, or how tall did he reach?
6'5", 6'9", they're telling me 6'9".
6'9", okay. And what about your mother?
Um, she had passed, but she was smaller. She was more like a human hybrid, different. My father was pure, and she was more of a human hybrid, but she had passed. She didn't live long.
Okay. Now, since she had passed, how long did your father live? If we had to put it in Earth years.
125.
Okay. Now, as you're going forward, you're evacuating the planet. Who's attacking you? And where are they from?
They're from the planet, but on the one of the quarters of the planet that they had been banned to, that was hardly livable, and so they all got together. They're kind of like the criminals of the planet, and then they're connected to they're definitely connected to a reptilian factor. But they're hybrids as well, but they're a reptilian. Like, they don't look reptilian, but they're a hybrid of the reptilians.
I see. I see. Is okay. Now, you personally, what were you? Were you? I guess your father was pure. You were a mix of your mother and father. What do you? How would you describe your percentage of hybrid and that kind of thing?
My father is from a blue. They're blue. They're possibly like an Arcturian.
Arcturian. Okay. And you said a blue planet. Is that what you said?
They're blue like the
Oh, they're colored blue.
like
Their skin.
yeah, they're shaded blue. So he's a hybrid of that planet with, and
Okay.
early Earth too. But he's more of that's like we get our height from my father's side.
I see. So his color was blue. His skin had a bluish tint to it.
They did, but my father didn't. He looked more. He did, but like to look at him, he was more the same tone as I was. But you could tell ears were different and eyes, and I mean he's like more metallic looking, like several like different, like a metallic looking, I guess.
Okay. So describe you. You said you're about 6 feet tall. You have kind of what color is your skin, and describe your facial features and maybe your ears compared to human ears and that kind of, and eyes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm very pointed, nose, cheekbones high, human eye, human looking, but still the features, the eyes are looking almost like, I don't want to say Asian, but not Asian. They're more alien, like they're more like Arcturian. They're Arcturian, like, but they're not as big as Arcturians. They're I'm humanoid, but yet I look not humanoid. Like I'm humanoid, but with features that are mildly Arcturian.
Okay. Understand, that's interesting. And if we're just kind of drifting down, I want you to just admire as you're drifting down deeper and deeper, feeling the images coming in clearer and clearer. Now, as you're getting people off of your planet, what year was that roughly in Earth years? And how big was it compared to Earth, for example? Was it a big planet, a small planet? Did you have one sun or more?
And what I'm seeing is it's dark, and our sun has been, something has happened where our sun has been diminished, and either it was destroyed, and the planet is starting to die.
Okay.
So it's dark, and we're just evacuating.
And so you have this other group of, I guess, star travelers who are more criminal-like from another quadrant you had mentioned. Where are all these pods going? Do you see yourself on a pod leaving the planet too?
It's just my father and I left, and I'm helping him onto the planet.
And describe the inside of the craft you're in. What does the pod look like? How big is it?
They look like elongated, like the way you would seat inside of a plane, but yet it's in a golden, long tube, kind of like super high tech, but it's kind of like the same seating as a plane.
Okay. Interesting. And how was it propulsion? What kind of propulsion system did it have? What does it feel like? Not saying you're an engineer or anything, but did you have a brief idea maybe how it was propelled?
It seems like on the bottom underneath there's a whole area where people sit and they do all the controls. It's quiet. It's like literally quiet. You can't hear any engine noise. It doesn't, it hovers, and it's just quiet.
Wow. And how fast would it go? Was it pretty fast out there, or when you take off from the planet, or?
Like they immediately leave the hemisphere, like rapidly. They're there and then they're gone. You don't hear it or see it. It just disappears.
Wow. Now, looking at your planet, how big was it compared to Earth? Did it have the same type of foliage? Describe some of the planet. Was there other creatures on there, or were you guys all alone, or what kind of animals or whatever?
They're like in one of the hemispheres, it was all beautiful jungle, and there are falls like that are so high, they're higher than anything Earth would ever have. The plants that are indigenous are completely different, but it's spectacularly beautiful. And the sector that I live in, it was all modern and it was just clean. There's no.
Were there any? Was it mostly land, or was there much water, or what? Just tell me about that.
There's 4 four sectors, there's four spheres, there's four, what do you call them, sections of the planet. One is all vegetation and, jungle, and that's where we were floating in the bubble. It has flowers, so different. In the one hemisphere, it's all green and all just nature and different aspects of nature. And then in the other hemisphere, it's all completely modern, and it's clean and sleek, and there's no pollution, and everybody is like, there's no poor, everybody is equal, and they all have their function. There's no competition of any type of there's no money. It's all, everybody gets paid the same, but it's done in, they call them something to start with a C, croutons, something that's the form of a money form called a crouton, CUTAN, and it's it's more like so you build them up by your performance, whatever it is that you do. So there's no exchange of any type of currency, but you do have like an account of croutons.
And you said everybody gets paid the same?
Yeah, there's no competition in
I see. So everybody, but are different, how are tasks assigned? Is there someone that says, hey, you should go into that, you're smart in this, and you should maybe think about this because you're more creative in this? How were the tasks assigned? Because somebody had to, build the beautiful buildings and...
Yeah, when you're born, you're genetically coded for particular, or they can read your code, and you are given things that you can go into. So everybody kind of just goes into where they are. There's a comfort level of you don't have to worry. You know where you're going. You know what your lineage is. So you go into what you're good at, or what you're genetically coded for. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I think I got a good idea about that. So, what were you coded? Because your father was what was his position again?
He was Chancellor of and he also was there's a huge group throughout of all the galaxies of the people that reign over all of the galaxies, and he was Chancellor of Sessirius, where we are from.
And how can you spell that for me, please?
Sessirius, Sassarius.
Okay, and so what was this? So he had a pretty big position, obviously.
He does, but it is no better than anybody else's. Everybody is equal.
So he had that high position because he was his lineage showed he'd be good at that. Is that correct?
Right. There doesn't seem to be any. Although there is a sector, and those are the people that are banned. They go to that one sector that somehow they're the ones, they revolt, and so they're sent to a part of the planet that is barely livable, and they're the ones that revolted, but they've got some type of defect in their lineage that causes, and my brother was one. My father sent him to the part of the planet that was like non-inhabitable or barely inhabitable.
So he was sent there because he had a defect in his what? His DNA?
No, he was bad. He was trying to create disorder and was just going against the moral code.
And everybody that went against this code were put in a whole different sector of this planetary body of or area. Is that right?
Right.
Now, looking at that, looking at yourself, how many people are hybrids? Were there other hybrids that were a little different from you, or did everybody look about the same?
The people that lived in like say the sector of the plants and all of that, they looked different. Even in our sector, there were different looking. Yeah, it was like something like from Star Trek. So you would see they were different looking. There were like the Arcturians, there were the Cronans, the Spectarian, just all different races, but yet they were divided by their, I guess, the genetic code. And then in the plant area was the hemisphere of where all of the nature was. They were still of our all same genetic code, but yet the code was broken down into many, many levels. And so they were all different looking too as well. They were typical for survival in their sector.
Okay, so there was quite a lot of different species or different hybrids from all over different galaxies, or all mostly out of the Orion Belt area.
Yeah, different. Some were from different galaxies, but mostly in our galaxy.
Okay, now during the day, I doubt you guys float around these big golden cylinders. Was there another? How else did you motor around to different sectors or out of those four areas? Was there subways, or how did you do it? Was there plane type things, or how'd you do it?
Within
Like how'd you get around?
Within the planet, we had they're kind of like hydromagnetic chutes or something. So we used that. We used individualized spheres that were, again, hydromagnetic.
You said spears?
Spheres, like circles. They were.
Oh, spheres. Okay. Interesting. So you could get around those. What were how wide were they roughly, depending on the size of the hybrid?
Yeah, the size of like a human could seat in one or two seaters. So.
Now they have colors, or were they just metallic, or do they have domes, or that you could see through, or what?
Metallic domes, and you can see through.
Okay, so they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
And pretty quick, I guess.
Right.
What? Well, let's go forward in that life, and take me up to first off. Do you see yourself at like 70 human years? And I'd first rather go back to the war, or let's say the invasion, when everybody was taken off the planet. And I want you to drift down deeper and deeper, and allow the images to open up when you see you and your father, helping others aboard a ship, and then you guys took off in one too. Now, where did you go from that area? And was the other group successful, the renegade type group, or did you come back and get the area back that they came and tried to take, or how did the whole war work out?
We left to go to a different planet. It was kind of, and the part of the planet imploded. We evacuated most of the planet, and it imploded. And then we went to a different planet. It is kind of pink.
Do you remember the name of that planet? How would you see it phonetically in your mind, or how would you hear it in your mind?
Called Planteria.
Okay.
Plenty.
Well, take your time, and let's say it was printed above in your mind's eye, and there's a screen there, and if you had to see big black letters, what did it start with? What was the first letter?
Plantaria.
Okay, and what was the name? Let me put it this way. Let's see if you knew this. Maybe your father shared it with you, or it was just common knowledge. But in light years, you said you're in another galaxy. That's not the Milky Way. Is that correct? Or are you actually in Orion's Belt, which is in the Milky Way? What does this feel like?
No, we're not in the Earth's galaxy. We're in a different galaxy. Orion's Belt is a passageway. To people in Earth, it looks like it's part of the galaxy, but it's also used as a passageway. And there's Orion's Belts, only they're called different things, and they're throughout the multiverse. It's an area of passage in from one galaxy to another.
Oh, I see.
Now we're in Plantaria, and so we're living there just as like almost in exile, but it's peaceful and calm, and it's just a beautiful planet. But everything seems like it's pink. It has the shore. It's a lot of water there too, and the water is.
Well, it sounds like a pretty planet. What color was the water, give or take? I know it probably varied on the planet, but where you were.
It was clear, almost. There was no tint to it.
I see. It's almost like right out of the sink, huh? Out of a glass?
Yeah, and the earth was more of a pinkish color.
So, are you telling me was there vegetarian that was pinkish, or the mountains and everything?
No, there was a hue of pinkness. They had their own. Things were different. They looked. Plant life was white, and they were not the browns or the greens. It was whites and yellows, and it wasn't a green planet. It was a different color, but the plant life was indigenous to this planet.
Was there others on that planet when you got there? It seems like you guys found a pretty nice rock to settle on. Was there others there that you had to negotiate with, or was it abandoned, or did nobody ever come across it?
It's a planet of. There's definitely people that are beings that are indigenous, but they're peaceful, and they were part of our grouping. We're allowed to go to, so it's a peaceful planet. They're more of a, they wear like all these robes and flowing. They're more of a female type planet, like more female.
Well, how did they look compared to you in your hybrids? Because you mentioned there was a lot of different ones that came over. You said they wore robes. Were they tall too, or shorter, or more human in size, or how big were they?
They're all different sizes, but they're not really as tall as we are. And they're very lithe, like very thin and high vibrational beings. They're just very feminine and beautiful.
So and you mentioned this planet was sort of in the realm of where, you could go after you abandoned the other planet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Was it like a territory or something?
It was part of the group. A lot of people went there. Some people didn't. That's where my father and I went. We went there and settled there. And I'm 70. something now.
And how do you look? Do you look older or do you age slowly?
I look mature, but I don't look like yeah, I look
Okay.
good. I don't look like wrinkly or anything.
Okay. Well, that's nice. I'm sure most 78-year-olds would love that story. Well, let me ask you this. While you're there, let's go, we're not getting emotional, but I want you to drift down deeper and deeper, feeling the images coming in. And we're not going to get emotional, but let's go to your father's passing. Can we do that? And what do you remember from that day? You're not going to get emotional. You're just going to observe and tell me what you see.
I'm holding him, and he's, telling me to just go on and continue being, carry on our legacy of,
Okay, so you're holding your father, and his life is ebbing away. Is that correct? Did he die? Was that considered an old age? How old was he again when he died, roughly?
I say 156 or something. Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't have to be right on the number, but I'm just curious, roughly.
156.
So in your mind's eye, does 156 feel pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's look at that. And as his life ebbed away, what did you, on that planet, was there any belief structure? Like, did you think maybe your father would, maybe his soul would survive, or did you guys believe in that?
We understood. We know everything. We know that it's just going into either into the source. We know that like death is not that detrimental for us. We understand. We miss the relationship, and we understand that it's a choice.
So at that stage in that involvement, pretty much everybody on your planet was well aware that, your father's consciousness / soul survived the passing. Is that what the understanding was?
Yes.
Now, where did they think? Did they know where he went? Did anybody ever explore deep enough behind the veil to know? You said he went to source. Was that on a certain level, or how did that? Where'd your father end up? Do you think was he pretty involved for a soul off your hybrid planet?
Yeah, and the hybrid planets, they're a high vibrational planet. Usually, those lifetimes. He died young, and it was his choice.
Okay.
But typically, they're a holding station. These planets, they're to either go back into the source, or you could go any place, and we all know that you can go anywhere you want. You can go back to source. You can go back into an incarnational planet of your choice. You can do whatever you want. You can come back again into the lifetime, and when they're incarnated, like he could come back as a baby, and I would know that was him. So
you would have that knowledge of that relationship if he just came back. You would know that.
yes.
Very interesting. Well, let's kind of look at that. And it was sad. Was there any type of service, or what'd you do with the body? What were your father's wishes for his body? What was standard, or was there different methods of, was there cremation, burial, shoot him off in a pod out to space, or how did you do it?
I seen being put into a tube and a cylinder, and probably something like a cremation. And then, yeah, probably say something like cremation.
Okay. So we're not going to get emotionally involved, and your father was glad to go. I presume you obviously missed him. Is that correct?
Yes, and this is precious.
She had a pretty close relationship. Now, while you were there and you're getting older, and you said you were in your 70s, do you see yourself at 125, say?
Yes, I'm writing something. I'm writing a documentary. I'm in a building, an archive building, and writing, documenting the planetary, everything that I know about the planet that we came from. Almost like I was working as a historian for my planet in this archive.
Interesting. So you did that and you enjoyed that because you were good at it? Is that what part of your lineage or what?
Yeah, there's no enjoyment. I mean, it's just there is enjoyment of existing, but there's no enjoyment of task. It's not like I'm excited. It's just it's something that I'm doing. I'm creating an archive, and it's just something that I'm doing. And I enjoy the existence of just existing.
So it was it was work, obviously, because you had to be detailed and think about it. And so it wasn't like writing some novel or fiction where it might have been more enjoyable. Well, as you're drifting down deeper and deeper, and you see yourself at 125, have you changed much in the last 50 years?
My hair is white, and it's not kept up, and I'm definitely older.
Now, did you ever get, you said you were married earlier. Did the husband come with you on this journey or what?
No, I don't see him. I had a child, I don't see her anymore.
Okay, now, we don't need to go back or get emotional. Did they not make it out or did they end up on another planet? What do you remember?
They may have been killed.
Okay, so you feel you might have lost them to when they were attacked, when your planet was attacked, perhaps, maybe got blown up or something.
Yes.
All right, well, let's don't get emotional. I'm sure that was sad too. But we're just observing, so I want you to drift down deeper and deeper. You're now seeing yourself at 125, and describe where you're doing the archiving. Is it like very sleek and modern? What does it look like? I mean, would you write it in a computer, or would you do it as typing into a computer, or or did it read your thoughts? Did you download your memories into something, or how did you do the archiving? How was that information or knowledge captured?
can touch you can touch a screen, but it didn't look like a screen. It looked more like a book. But you would touch the page, and your thoughts would be transposed onto the page.
That sounds pretty high tech. Did you have other? And I'm telling you about. You seem like you could live longer. Were there organ? If you needed an organ, for instance, did you in your hybrid body? Tell me about that. Did you have like one brain like humans, and did you have like a heart like a human and lungs? Or tell me about maybe some of the internal structure of your body.
Yeah, we were just strong. We were super strong compared to Earthling. Like, for example, my mother, who was a hybrid, but she was sickly, and she was very Earth-like. So we had very strong genetic breeding where we were probably like what you would consider human or a super human on the planet Earth. We were very strong, super eyesight, we were able to obviously, read minds, things like that. And we're just super strong race. So,
Interesting. Now, if we had to put it, like here you are, female. You're about six. How tall were you again, roughly?
I was about six, I want to say 6'5", something like that.
All right, let's say you see yourself. Did you ever, let's say, did you ever pick up anything and say call it Earth pounds? Like, could you pick up a craft? Like, were you like 3 times stronger than your average female at 6 feet, 6 feet 4? How much stronger were you than a human that might be that tall? That was female.
Yeah, you could probably bench press a human.
Okay, so you felt pretty strong.
Well, and actually, I was a hybrid, so I was not as strong as most, but yeah, and we didn't look muscular. We were just, actually, we looked very, more thin, but we just had stronger capabilities.
Did you have 5 fingers on each hand, or how many fingers?
We were humanoid looking, but
So
more
pretty much like normal, but little features were off a little bit.
what you call normal, yeah.
Like ears, maybe a little pointy, like what somebody would think on our planet. Well, that's a very interesting. Well, let's go forward. You're archiving. It's not the funnest thing you've done, but it needs to be done. Somebody to capture that information. So you're to tell me about these books, and you could like touch the book, and it would take your thoughts and transcribe it onto the page of the book, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. What other neat technology did you have? Like you could, I guess it was. Did you use telepathy?
Yes, we would. That's how we communicated mostly.
So if you had a friend like, maybe, 10 miles away, 20 miles away, whatever, you could send them a thought and they'd say, hey, yeah, I'll come over and we'll make something to eat tonight, or how'd that work?
Right.
So no phones, no nothing. Nothing what we know is today.
No, there were communication channels, but more for the more for I want to say like the armed forces, more for uh, using to communicate with other species and uh, other planets, things like that.
And I presume they could scramble this thought so their minds couldn't be read, to screw up their, whatever military operations it might have been. Was your planet considered your people? I know you left. And those other guys came and took over the dying planet where you were. What was the name of that planet again that you left?
Sessirius?
Okay. And you went to where again?
Planetaria?
Okay. Well, let's continue along. You're at 125. Do you see yourself at 150?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm in a cottage in the middle of a forest with a lot of flowers, and I'm just, even though it seems rustic inside, it's purely typical of our planet, but it's probably what I envisioned as a human that would be comforting to me in my older years.
Okay. Now, did you do anything there? Did you have any pets or a garden, or how'd you keep yourself busy? Was there any crafts or anything you want to get involved in back when you were kind of had more time on your hands?
No, I was just content, walking and meditating and being in nature and I would read old ancient books.
Interesting. So you read old books. Where were these books from? Were they written from Planetaria, authors, or where were these books from? Other parts of the galaxy, or what?
They were books from old Earth. They were books from just all over. They were hard copies because there were no hard copies, so I was able to obtain these that was like part of my hobby, obtaining hard copy books.
Okay. Now you're saying old Earth. What are you referring to?
Earth, like, in the 21st century Earth.
So you're talking about our planet Earth, is that correct?
The planet, yes.
Okay. So you're telling me that you felt like about around 2145 or so, 2200, whatever, that this Earth became less habitable and you had to go to one of these other planets? Or was that an incarnation like you mentioned back at when you were 10 and you were captured in a cage by reptilians?
That was in.
Like what year was that roughly?
I'm not sure, 2100s, but it was inside the Sessirian planet. It was in the hemisphere of one of the sectors that they didn't know about. So in the early 2100s. But what this is this is the time that you're asking for is not congruent with the time that you are in currently. So it may have year or numbers, but it's a different time completely.
Like a different type calendar system?
Yeah, Earth was like, I don't know how to explain it. It's in a different time source. Like if I were to go back to Earth in the year 2000, it would be hundreds of thousands of years difference.
More advanced out of the future, you mean?
Yeah, Earth is not advanced, or at that time, the year 2000, they were not advanced. There's different time categories. I don't know how to say it. So 2178 on the planet Sessirius is a different time category than the year 2000 Earth time.
178, yeah. So it'd be more like, you said hundreds of thousands of years in the, farther out.
Well, if that's correct, I don't know how to gauge it.
Okay.
It's
Well, that helps. That makes more sense. So when you were telling me 2145, that was 2145 in Assyria time, not in Earth time.
Yeah, there's different
calendars, time systems, yeah.
Yeah, there's a word, I can't think of what the word is. It's like all I can think of is category. That's what keeps coming up. The category of there's existence of everything in an equal time frame, but it's all time is equated differently.
Well, let's look at this. You had the ability to say you had a military, and you're hundreds of thousands of years in the future. Now, was your area, your sectors you're in, were they aware at that time of Earth in our solar system? Were they aware of this little planet way back when? Or was their technology so good that obviously they could see anything in any galaxy?
Yeah, they know of everything.
Okay, so they're well aware of the Earth. And was the Earth still habitable that far out in the future? Or what do you see about our sun or Earth?
All I can tell you about the Earth is that the Earth had gone through many evolutions of the original existence.
Okay.
many different types of inhabitants, like, and many different categories of time. So Earth now, in the planet where I am from, has gone through many evolutions of existence. And it is probably now more of a utopia planet rather than an incarnational planet.
Okay. So it became less of like an Earth school per se, where people's souls come, and more of a thing where what, people are immortal pretty much forever.
Yeah, so incarnation. I don't know if immortal forever, but it's it's no longer an incarnational planet. It's turned into more of a utopia planet, similar to.
And utopia would mean no incarnations, just this different beings living on it time to time.
Higher vibrational. Higher vibrational.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, let's go. You see yourself at around 150. Do you see yourself at 200? Like how long, if we could, instead of just me just throwing numbers out, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper. And let's go up to the last moments of your life on that planetaria. How old do you see yourself?
Well, when you said 200, I had left. I had gone into a white existence, so a soul existence. So, and when you're saying 200, you're counting the 200 years of Earth years, but it's not Earth years at all.
I see.
Time is congruent. It's different. So.
How much would that be? So how far long do you think you could live if you could, like, I know you said it was hard to try to extrapolate what a Earth year would be versus your planet. But how old do you think you live roughly, if you could just, some number comes to you?
In Earth years, like 2,000 or more.
So a pretty darn long time.
Well, it's relative.
Well, relative to there. Yeah, everybody else is living that long probably too. So let's go to your death at, roughly 2,000 years old, or maybe give or take based on the calculation. Did you also go into a cylinder upon death, or what did you see? Take me to your moment of death and describe it to me. And you're not going to get emotional. Passing's coming. So what did you see? Or where did you go?
I don't know physically what happened to my body. I just lifted out of it, and I guess I'm in source. I don't know. It's all white.
Do you see yourself like spreading and blending into this white source, or this source energy?
Yeah.
Okay. And you became part of that, is that correct?
It's all, yeah, it's just pure.
How did it feel to be part of source again? Did you have any feeling of that? Were your memories all erased and you had amnesia and you're just, this happy thing and merged into the source, or how did that work?
There is no consciousness of it. It just is.
Okay. Did you like being back? Like from that life, did you incarnate again from that life or not? Or have you just stayed with source at that time?
I don't know. I'm just there.
You're just there for now. Okay. Well, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper. And we're going to kind of get back in our pod and kind of leave some of these nice memories. And you're drifting down deeper and deeper, feeling more and more relaxed. And I want you to drift down. And can you take me to the life prior to your life now as Leora? Do you see in your mind, if we just gently go there, maybe in your youth, maybe when you were young, do you see anything in your mind's eye that might take us to that time?
I'm a young man.
Okay, and you're a man, you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you feel like you're a man, and Is this the life right before Leora? Or is this a life somewhere close to that?
This is 1894.
So 1894 and you're a man. Can you describe your outfit and what you look like?
I have a mustache, dressed very well, very wealthy. I'm a young man, like 16, 17, but very wealthy, dark hair, I guess handsome, dressed very well.
Well, that sounds very nice. So your parents were pretty wealthy, or was that your grandparents, or generational, or? And can you see where you're living? Where are you located?
I see a Victorian home with wrought iron.
And what color is it? Like, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper. And kind of describe the house to me. How long did you live there?
It's my parents' home, and it's more of like it's like what they call a painted lady house, but it's not. It's gray and black, and it's just a very well-to-do house. We live in the city of some city. We have horse and carriage, and we have servants. And
if we had to pick a state in our mind, what letter would that state start with? Or is it in another country?
no, it was in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so Pennsylvania. And it's pretty. And if you had to see in your mind's eye just the state of PA, this big rectangle, were you closer to the right side of it or the left? And what was the name of the town, roughly, if you could remember it? What town was it? Where?
On the east coast, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia.
Oh.
Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh's on the west, Philly's on the right. What does it feel like?
Philadelphia, it's on the east.
All right, so you're near Philadelphia. Now, are you in Philadelphia or on the outskirts?
On the outskirts.
Okay, and how far out? Did you ever see did you ever go downtown to Philadelphia, the city?
In a brick house, so it's different now.
All right, you see yourself in a brick house now. Is it closer to the city, or about the same distance, or in the city? How close to Philadelphia?
We're just right inside the city. It's not that developed, to where it's industrial.
Okay.
It's around the water or around the east coast. It's industrial, but we're more, I guess, not in the suburbs, but we're in the city.
So right on okay. And it's a brick house now, 2-story or one?
2-story. Very low.
Okay, now do you see your parents then? Are they in this house as well, or is that your house by yourself?
No, it's my parents' house still. We moved, I guess.
Okay, your parents moved. And how did you like your parents? Can you describe them? Like maybe when you were like 17 or 20. Like, just describe them. What were they like?
Well, my mother's wonderful and nurturing, and my father very, very nice, but very strict and very stoic in a lot of ways. But I'm going into his business, and he was very happy about that. I graduated from the university.
Yeah, what school, college did you go to? Do you remember back then? Was it in Philadelphia, or was it around Philadelphia, or was it out of town?
Would it be University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia?
Yes, okay. So you feel you went to University of Pennsylvania. What year did you graduate? Do you remember?
1897.
Okay, and what did you major in? What did you study?
Business and finance. My father's a banker.
And your father's a banker. And do you know the name of the bank your father was with? Was it one he started or he worked for, or how was that?
Scotland's. It seems like Scotland's. It was a bank from our. Not. It was a bank from where we're from in Scotland, I guess, called Scotland's National. Scotland's National.
And was he part of that bank for a long time, or did you guys come over from Scotland?
No, he was a part of it. Well, I believe we came over, but and it said grandfather. So my grandfather came down from grandfather to father.
I see. So let me see, and you think back, was it your grandfather that came over first from Scotland or your father?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather. What year was that, do you think he came over from Scotland? And how old was he? Just kind of look back a long time ago. Maybe you saw some old photographs, or maybe your mother or father told you.
1819.
So he came over a long time ago.
I think so.
Okay. Well, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper, just relax and enjoy those memories. And do you see yourself going into your father's business at the bank? How long did you have a career there? Do you remember?
I just see me working for him now, and he's happy.
And was the bank pretty successful, or?
Yeah, it was fine. It was.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. You're working for your father. You graduated, you said, in what year again from college?
1897, I think.
Okay, and where did you go to school again?
University of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We can go with that. I want you to drift down deeper and deeper, feeling more and more relaxed. And I want you to see yourself working for your father. And were you married in that life?
Later, yeah, when I'm 30.
When you were at 30, okay. Now, was she from Pennsylvania also, Philadelphia area, or where'd you meet her? Where did you meet your wife?
Parents don't like her. She's New York City. She's an immigrant.
And New York City, what nationality was she? Where did she come from?
Like, for some reason, Bulgaria or something like that. So there's Bulgaria? I don't know.
Okay. Was she pretty?
Yes, pretty.
And did your parents think maybe at the time, we're not going to get emotional, did they think you married underneath you, or why did they like her?
Yeah, she was under, that's the social standing she was not at our level.
Well, I understand. Now, where did you meet her? Where did you first meet her?
New York City.
Now, you went up there and you were hanging out there with some friends or just a visit, and you met her where?
Yeah, I was with school friends. I think we were, we were in a restaurant or a bar or something, some kind of club. And she was there.
And you immediately knew you wanted to date her and marry her. Is that correct?
No, she more pursued me, I think.
Okay, so she stayed in touch with you. And then what? Did you come down to Philadelphia to see you, or did you just go back to New York to see her?
I think I got her pregnant.
Okay. So, now, do you see a child later on?
Yeah, a little boy.
Okay, what was his name?
Stuart.
So you had a boy named Stuart. Did you have any other children?
And a little girl.
And what was her name?
Angela.
Okay. So you had two children, and you lived. Now, when you moved out of your father's house, where did you live after that with your new wife?
Yeah, I had a beautiful home. I was making a lot of money by then, and I had servants, and we had a beautiful estate.
And let me ask you this: what year was that? You think when you had that beautiful house, that estate?
1917.
And let's look back deeper and deeper. Okay. What was the name of the town you were near? We were in Philadelphia, or what was the name of the town around it? What would it start with?
F. Fair, Ferrisburg.
Let me get what it could have been. Fairmont.
That sounds right.
So, in your yes or no, does it feel like Fairmount or something like that?
Yes. Fairmont.
So you feel like you might have lived in the Fairmount section of Philadelphia. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how long did you describe the estate? Do you remember the street number or the name? What was the name of your street that you lived on?
I want to say Mulberry.
It's okay. I want you to just relax and drift down deeper and deeper. You're feeling very relaxed. And what was your name?
Thomas.
Thomas, and what was your last name?
Let's say Kincaid.
All right, well, let's drift down deeper and deeper. And in your mind's eye, does Thomas Kincaid sound right?
No, it's McCaid. Thomas McCaid. 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 Thomas McCaid.
And you graduated University of Pennsylvania in 1897. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you feel you might have lived, and don't let me put answers in your mind. Do you feel, yes or no, that the section might have been Fairmount?
I believe so. It was Fair, and then Mount is right.
Good. And let's drift down deeper and deeper. You're enjoying your estate. Now, were you starting to have cars at that time, or were you still doing horse and buggy in 1917? What was it?
I believe they had a car. It was a motorized. It was a steam vehicle, like motorized by steam. It was the beginning of the motor vehicles.
So you think it ran on steam?
I believe so.
Did you see? Okay, go ahead.
No, I had one of the first ones.
So you had one of the first cars. You were pretty proud of that car, I guess?
Yeah, we were all, we thought we were pretty something. My friends and I, we thought we were all that, I guess.
Well, it sounds like a fun, wonderful life. And what was the name of the street again? You think you lived on with that nice estate?
I think Mulberry.
Do you have a number? What number would be on the front of your house?
Oh, it was 66 Mulberry.
Does that feel right? Or is that all right?
1734 Mulberry.
Well, let's take away the 17. Let's just forget that. What would be the last two numbers that come into your mind's eye of that?
1734.
34, you said?
1734 Mulberry.
Okay, and you see Fairmont? Or I guess it was a Philly, Maryland address, or what was back then?
Did you say Philly? Yes.
So it was in Philadelphia, but you lived in the Fairmount section of Philadelphia. Is that correct?
Suburb.
Say that again?
Yes, suburb.
Suburb, we got you. Now, drifting down deeper and deeper, did your family ever go to like Atlantic City or any of the shore points in New Jersey? What do you see? Where did you go for summers? Where did you have a vacation home or what?
It was north. So we went up to Possibly the Hamptons, something like that. Possibly we went north.
So you went north. Now let's look at that for a moment. And you're drifting down deeper and deeper. And I want you to kind of visualize, did you have your own home on the northern part?
It was our parents, my mother's and father's home.
So your mother and father had a home, and how long did they have that phone? Did you go there as a child, when you were younger too? And where was it located? What do you feel in your mind? Where did they have that nice house?
I want to say the Hamptons.
Okay. Now, let's look at the Hamptons. Okay, now what year did your father have it built? Did he buy somebody else's house? What year was that?
What year was the house built?
Yeah, or where he have it made, or did he buy somebody else's house, or did he have it built?
And I believe it was built in the 1600s.
Well, that sounds pretty long time ago. Let's look at that a little more. So you feel you might have been near the Hamptons.
Yeah, it might have been my grandfather's originally. So.
Okay, so you think it might have been your grandfather's. Now, was it a nice house? How close to the ocean was it? How close to the beach?
The beach was walkable distance. There were no homes very much around. There were some, but it was, not that far away. I mean, we had a lot of land. There was grass that would come through the sand, and my mother, maybe it was my mother's family home. My mother went to live there.
Now, did they buy it in the 1800s, or what do you think? What do you see? Did they build it?
It was my mother's family home, and her father had it, and his father had it. So it was in the family line.
So it go on back, and it was quite a few acres?
It seemed like it was. You couldn't, there were not that many houses there.
Okay.
White.
Now, how old did you take your family there to visit your grandparents' house later on when they were older? Like the kids, would they play on the beach or what?
I don't remember that, but I remember my mother living there, and that's where she died.
I see. And what was your mother's name again? What was her first name?
Margaret.
And what was her last name?
I want to say it starts with a SP, like spoilers, something, spindler, spoiler.
Yeah, take your time. See if you can see it in your mind's eye if it spells across. And just drift down deeper and deeper.
Spindler, spoiler, I can't see it.
Well, that's okay. And what was your name again?
Thomas.
And what was your last name?
McCade.
McCade, okay. And you think you went to University of Pennsylvania, and what year did you graduate again?
I think 1917.
Or was that the house? When you were in the house in 1917. But what year did you graduate from Penn?